Today at Nationals Park. More than 30,000 celebrating Independence Day. Fitting, the Nationals found a way to prevail in extra innings, continuing their winning ways at home. Ross Detweiler tonight makes his 2011 debut on MASN. What surprises do the Nats have in store for us tonight? Game 2 of the 4-game series. The Cubbies in town to play the Nats after a lot of drama here yesterday afternoon. It's a night game, and things aren't that much cooler, by the way. Bob and FP, welcome to the ballpark. Let's talk about the Nats and some of the things, the intangibles they've been doing to win some ball games. Jason Worth not hitting a ton, but he sure seems to be doing everything else. Yeah, he had a lot of big plays yesterday in the baseball game, and for Jason Worth, all of a sudden, some little things might add up to some big things, and all of a sudden, you feel a part of it. And yesterday, Jason Worth had a fantastic day. A couple of RBIs, and it was all after he got hit with that pitch right there. So you're wondering if he was going to chief it out. You're wondering if he was going to play, and he did. And we knew at this time, at this throw, that was going to be a big play in the ball game. And all of a sudden, the big steal at third base, nobody paying attention to Jason Worth. And then the wild pitch. So, maybe the average not where he's used to having it, but the .330 on base percentage and helping a team win a ball game was a big deal for that guy with the big hair. Not to be forgotten, his leadoff walk, the Levon sacrifice bunt, and all those little things add up, and the ball club's at 500. At least by Nat standards, pretty late in the season here. Yeah, and if you're not going to hit, you got to do those little things. And I love the fact that Davey Johnson is involving everybody. Lance Nix at first base, Matt Stairs at first base, Livan Hernandez getting a big bunt down. All of a sudden, everybody contributing, and that's how you bring a team together. And by the way, I think Michael Moore's soon. He took some pretty good-looking BP today. We welcome 07 draft choice Ross Detweiler back to the big leagues. 6-6 at Syracuse, and he gets the spot start tonight. Yeah, he's averaging almost 7 strikeouts per 9 innings in AAA. So fastball, curveball change from Detweiler. We saw him in spring training a couple of times, and we're looking forward to seeing him again on the big stage tonight. Ross Detweiler's had some injury issues in the past, but there's nothing wrong with the bullpen right now. 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs yesterday. Matthews, Clippard, Drew Storen, and then MPH Rod getting the job done for the Nats in a W yesterday. The nation's fastest mobile broadband network. And by Mitsubishi Electric Cooling and Heating. To find a Mitsubishi dealer near you, visit MitsubishiComfort.com. Distinguished visitor tonight from that little house on Pennsylvania Avenue. First Lady Michelle Obama took the field a few moments ago, joining forces with the Nats to honor military families. She joins Dr. Jill Biden with a national initiative that focuses on mobilizing all sectors of USA society to support our families in the military. First pitch, she was excited, and what a nice honor to have the First Lady in the ballpark tonight.
And John Walsh should take notes on that first pitch right there. That was pretty good.
Danny Espinosa got a hug from the First Lady and got to spend quite a bit of time with her. You know, the Obamas always show up when the Cubs are around here. We like it. They have Chicago roots and the Cubs are in town. Always nice here at D.C. We never know who's going to grace us with their presence at the park. 90 degrees. Humidity is reasonable. Visit Trane.com for an independent Trane comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Cubbies lineup. They're third in the league, hitting .262, seventh in runs and eighth in home runs. Aramis Ramirez leads the Cubs and third in the league in batting average over the last couple of weeks. He has his overall average up to .295 now. They have Marlon Byrd back healthy, and they have stacked the lineup with some right-handed hitting against Ross Detweiler tonight.
You see the numbers on Detweiler. Worked 2 scoreless innings on Wednesday against Indianapolis. A Pirates AAA team. Walked 1 and struck out 2. Like I said in the open, he's averaging nearly 7 strikeouts per 9 innings in AAA and a .282 average against.
Just 30 innings for Ross at the big league level last year. 106 in his major league career, and that's inside. Ball game underway at 7:07.
You'll see fastball, curveball change from Detweiler. Fastball goes about 90 miles an hour. The first one, 92.
And we saw him throw that low 90s thing in spring training. He's got a nice, easy delivery. And you can already tell that he has, to a certain extent, FP, straightened out that throwing across his body thing. Although he starts from the third base side of the rubber, and we can already see his landing area just a little bit off to the first base side.
Well, I remember you guys telling me in spring training, we saw him pitch twice, that was the big thing. He was throwing across his body. It led to a hip injury and trying to work on his mechanics. But you look where he's standing on the mound right now. That's as far as you'll see a guy over on the third base side. He is way over there. You see the mechanics from Detweiler. Still stepping toward first base, but according to everybody who saw him pitch last year, not as dramatic a crossover step as it was in 2010.
And a 1-2 pitch. Inside on the right-handed hitter, and Bernardina grabs that screaming line drive. Hit hard by Reed Johnson, who came into that AB hitting .330.
So it looks like Roger's seeing the baseball off the bat today. Bernardina and Keel and Worth in the outfield. Desmond and Zimmerman on the left side. Espinosa and Nix on the right side. Wilson Ramos doing the catch. And I talked to Roger before the game today, and he was talking about the scuffle he was having seeing the baseball in center field yesterday during the day game. Very cloudy out. He said when the ball was getting out of the stadium due to the fact there was so many clouds that he just lost the ball. And it happened a couple of times. He didn't even see the ball Pena hit that he went back on off the wall. He said he cruised on it because he was still trying to find the baseball as he was running. So just one of those Halloween days yesterday for Roger Bernardino. And there is no worse feeling as an outfielder than when you can't see the baseball.
Well, there's a good changeup by Detweiler against Jeff Baker. Baker batting second, playing second. And Baker, a former Colorado Rocky infielder, hit .272 for the Cubs last year after coming over in a trade. 30-year-old right-handed hitter with Aramis Ramirez to follow. Mike Quaddy really stacking his lineup with righties today. And a 1-2 for Detweiler with the outfield around to the right. By the way, I talked to Ross this afternoon. His mom and dad, of course, try to fly in for all of his starts, but this happened pretty quickly. So he said they'll be watching you guys back home in Missouri tonight. So our best to the family. We look forward to seeing you folks up in D.C. sometime soon, and good luck to your guy tonight.
And they're probably more nervous than Ross.
I would think so. Up the middle. To his left, Desmond can't get to it. Two fairly sharply hit balls by the Cubs to start the game. And a dangerous hitter coming in with 1 on, 1 out. 1 homer in the last 87 innings by Nats starters. Let's knock all over whatever wood we can find so we don't jinx them on that one. And by the way, when Ramon Ortiz starts tonight, he'll be their 10th starter. The Nats have had 7 now with Detweiler. And an all-time high for a Washington Nationals team in stolen bases before the break. And a lot more to gather between now and Sunday. There's a bouncer out to short. Desmond to Espinosa. He turns the 6-4-3. And Danny Espinosa took a tumble on some contact by Jeff Baker there. Good first inning for Detweiler and the Nats defense. Had 3 hitters, base hit and a double play. And here's the Nats starting lineup packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics. Lance Nix in that cleanup spot tonight and hitting the ball pretty well. 400 the batting average since the 28th of June. Hasn't played every day, but he's in there tonight against the right-hander Ortiz. Espinosa second again. Ryan Zimmerman back in there. And Rick Ankiel plays center field. So it's a good lineup on both sides of the ball. And here's the former Nat, Ramon Ortiz. He was 11-16 for the 06 Nationals in 33 starts, 5.5 ERA. And a veteran hanging on here in the big leagues at the age of 38. First pitch fastball, some good run and sink on that thing.
Yeah, made 16 starts for AAA Iowa this year for the Cubs. Last time out, he tossed 4 shutout innings.
And Bernardino hooks him right into right center field. Great swing by Roger, who came in hitting .257. He's now been on base 9 times his last 6 games. FP, break down this double play as far as Danny goes here.
I would love to, because this is a veteran turn. Watch how Danny Espinosa uses the bag to protect him. You look at the hard slide, and that's a veteran move. He was behind the base. He used the base as his protection, and then when he felt a little contact, he was already in the air, so you can't do any damage when your feet aren't on the ground. That's a veteran turn.
Danny Espinosa hitting .218 left-handed. And they must have a scouting report from AAA that says Ramon Ortiz has really been around the plate. Guys are attacking early. We remember Ramon as not a big guy. He's only 5'11", under 170. But he can throw pretty hard, and he's always had a good slider. He'll hang a few here and there. And he still, after all these years, is the closest a Nationals pitcher has ever been to throwing a no-hitter. We will, I'm sure, document that for you during the night. A lot of ball clubs broke in with the Angels in '99, won a ball game for them in the 02 World Series. Mild-mannered guy, always has a smile on his face, pleasant to be around. And now the Nats face him as a former teammate. At least Ryan Zimmerman does. I don't think anybody else remembers him. 1-1 to Espinoza. Roger runs and then stops, and now he starts again. He's going to go to third. No, he's going to come back now. Looked like he was going to challenge Reed Johnson, and then as soon as he touched the second base bag, he put on the brakes.
Well, let's check out the Cubs defense tonight behind Ortiz. Soriano, Bird, and Johnson in the outfield. Barney Ramirez on the left side. Baker and Pena on the right side. Giovanni Soto doing the catching.
And a big first inning potentially sitting out there for the Nats now. Ryan Zimmerman, 1 for 4 career against Ortiz with an RBI. Back in the lineup after sitting out yesterday, and he takes one low in the zone for a strike. Pretty good numbers for Ryan against Chicago pitching over the years. And there's a base hit to right field. One hopper to Reed Johnson. Bo Porter holding Bernardina. And the Nats have 3 singles to start the game.
3 loud singles to start the game. And the balls are hit so hard that we don't see this very often. Station to station baseball from the Nationals.
Yeah, hitting the ball too hard to advance anybody 2 bags.
And that's a pretty sight. Leg kick early, staying inside the baseball. A ball in the inner half of the plate that he drove the other way.
What a spot already for Lance Nix to step into. Nix hitting .280. He's seen Ramon Ortiz 5 at-bats in his career. He has 2 hits and one of them a home run. Only Zimmerman and Nix have ever hit against this pitcher before. And the ever-aggressive Nix lays off that one. Ball 1. 13-year veteran Mike Everett has the plate. Chris Guccione, Mike Muchlinski, and crew chief Mike Winters on the bases. Wow. Pretty good looking pitch, and it's 2-0. Good speed out there. Bernardina, Espinoza, Zimmerman the trail runner. And a bouncer to the right side. Should be 2 for the Cubs, but Baker throws it away. 2 runs will score, and the runners will end up at second and third with nobody out. It'll be an RBI for Nix and a huge error for Jeff Baker.
Yeah, that wasn't even close on that feed. We just showed Danny Espinoza hanging tough on a double play. And Darwin Barney didn't even have a chance to turn this. Just a routine ground ball that has to be turned at this level. This is the major leagues. And you look at the feed right here. He just slipped. His foot came out from underneath him. Didn't have his feet underneath him. Ball goes into left field, and you got Nats running all over the place. So the first 4 base runners reach. A couple of runs score. I guess you might call that a rally first lady.
Wow.
We might have to keep her here every day, get her season tickets.
Evidently, they don't want Michelle to leave. Slider low and away now to the number 5 hitter, Jason Worth. The Cubs play the middle infielders back and the corner infielders just about in their baselines. Cubs making their 71st error of the year, the most in the National League, and just 1 under the most in the major leagues by Texas. One and 1 to Worth. Fastball under his hands, ball 2. And Worth will wave at a breaking ball that ends up outside, counts even. Jason, 30 RBIs.
Well, that one was for Jason Worth. This one's for the ball club. You got runners out second, third, nobody out. You take a shot to drive in runs early in the count. Now with 2 strikes, you're thinking about hitting a ground ball up the middle to score the runner from third.
I don't know how he reached that ball, but somehow did.
And that's how you see guys drive in a lot of runs. Early in the count, you can take a chance. You can take a shot, look for your pitch, try to drive it. It's very early in the baseball game. And you're thinking about a big inning. But now with 2 strikes, you take a little out of your swing. You choke up a little bit. You look at your defense. The infield up the middle is back. And you just try to hit a ground ball to second base or shortstop.
2-2. Worth in the air. It'll be out of play, right field. Nationals start tonight at 500. Their best record at this stage of a season since 05, when they were a very impressive 52-34. 10 over 500 at home. And a 2-2 to Worth again. Similar result. Ortiz nearing 20 pitches. Nobody out.
And when you think about how yesterday's game ended for the Chicago Cubs, and nobody paid attention to Jason Worth on third base, the pitcher, the middle infielders, this game couldn't have started any worse. You have that bad feeling in your mouth from a walk-off loss, and then a big error to start this one up. Sometimes that's tough to come back from.
Yeah, Jeff Baker, a guy who's usually reliable. Played for Colorado before coming over to Chicago. Starling Castro, their young all-star, struggling a bit with the bat. He was 0 for 5 yesterday. And they put him on the bench tonight, even though the Nats had a left-handed pitcher. And the switch in the middle defense has been a disaster for the Cubs. Worth will strike out on an off-speed breaking ball that really slowed down his bat. That's the first out.
And that is the 82nd strikeout of the year for Jason Worth.
Probably ball 4.
And he's probably looking for a fastball, the 3-2 count, but with first base open and left-hander on deck. Well, I don't know if Rick Ankiel had anything to do with that, but a 3-2 slider nonetheless. Looked like he was looking for number 1.
They're going to walk Ankiel now and pitch to Wilson Ramos. That'll load the bases with 1 out. Mike Waddy's Cubs, they've been without Marlon Byrd for a while. Getting him back will help them. But they're 16 games under 500 and 11 games out in their division in 5th place out of 6 ball clubs. They're 10 under 500 on the road and 6 under at home. Their problem right now, pitching and defense. 2nd highest ERA in the National League to Houston. And statistically, the worst defense in the league. Wilson Ramos, 2 days after one of his best at-bats of the year.
He's got a fastball in the inner half from Kevin Correa and drove it out of this ballpark. And we've been liking his swing a lot lately. Hitting that ball going the other way nice. Flew out deep to right center field a couple of times that game.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Wilson Ramos, a lot of life in his bat.
Yeah, right after that AB, 2 innings later, double right down the right field side. 25 RBIs. And if you look at the numbers of Ramos and Pudge combined, 9 home runs, 44 ribbies by the catchers. That's pretty good production out of guys who are usually batting 7th, sometimes 8th. That breaking ball drops in. Ortiz has a good snap on his slider. He gets in trouble when he leaves that thing over the middle of the plate. 4 of Wilson's 7 home runs here. So it's Zimmerman, Nix, and Ankiel, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. That's up and in, ball 3.
This is where a lot of times as a hitter, you got a count in your favor, 3-1. You got to step out of the batter's box, regroup, relax, and focus all your energy on one pitch in one spot.
I think that's just what the pitcher did, too. Ortiz called a little timeout. He went for a walk onto the grass behind the mound.
Well, the biggest mistake you could make as a hitter right here is thinking that he has to throw a strike or that he's going to throw a strike, and you just swing because of the count. You got to stay with your game plan. And I don't think his game plan was to swing at a 3-1 slider, but a lot of times as a hitter, you get so excited in these situations. You're thinking about 3 RBIs, maybe even 4. You go away from your game plan, and you swing at something out of the zone.
3-2, bases loaded, 1 out. Nats already up by 2. And a slider hit left side, knocked down, and everybody's going to be safe as Aramis Ramirez kept it on the infield, but the Nats lead 3-0.
Just a well-placed ground ball by Wilson Ramos, and Mike Quade saying, what did I do to deserve this? You look at the jump that Ramirez got at third base. Probably not the best jump in the world. Didn't see the ball very well. Waited a couple steps before he got to that. Good dive to keep it in the infield, but you see a lot of hits. There's a walk, and all of a sudden you're on your heels on defense.
8th man to bat, Ian Desmond, still only 1 out. Here's where Ian needs to be smart. He will hit one right to Ramirez. Safe. And the Cubs dugout explodes to the upper step. They can't believe that was not called out at third base on the dive by Ramirez.
Now he looked out from here. And Ramirez definitely ready for that line drive off the bat of Ian Desmond. That was a great play. That was all reaction, dove to the bag. Mike Quade doesn't like it, and I think he's got a legitimate beef.
Nats appeared to get a break. That'll get Detweiler to the plate here.
You see Kerry Wood on the bench saying not even close. I think it was close. And this angle should tell it right here. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Nats get a huge break.
Kerry Wood, the Cubs dugout, and Mike Quade were all right.
Ross Detweiler bats right-handed as a big league hitter. He's 1 for 26 with an RBI. Oh, 2. And 9 Nationals will bat. Washington will pick up 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning against Ramon Ortiz. as the Nats get 3 in the first. Here's our Luna second inning feature, 70% off all flooring at 877-241 Luna. Shop smart, shop Luna. Last 9 as a starter for Ross Detweiler. ERA way down, and the opponent's batting average at least heading in the right direction.
And that's the stat I always go to, and that's the one stat when you see the numbers taped to the dugout wall. You're facing somebody, yeah, sinker, slider, what does he have? What does he throw in what count? But what is the league? What are opponents hitting against the guy? That'll tell you a lot about his stuff. So a good sign the average is going down. And there's only one place that it matters, and it's right here at the highest level.
Now that the Nats have won another home game, gotten off to a good start in this series, who are the best home cookers in baseball? Milwaukee pounding their way to 29 wins. We know about Citizens Bank Park, but the Nats are right there with the Indians and the Giants, 2 first-place ball clubs.
Well, they've been great at home. It's becoming a tough place to play for visiting ball clubs. Seen big crowds this homestand, big crowds last homestand, and people are getting into it.
Giovanni Soto, Alfonso Soriano, Marlon Byrd in the second for the Cubs, and Detweiler misses inside. Soto bumped up to the cleanup spot after hitting 8th yesterday, but he had 2 hits with an RBI. Soto's a big, strong kid, 6'1", 218.
He really slowed down on that changeup. Did you see that in his motion? We talk about Tyler Clippard's changeup all the time. Ross Detweiler slowed everything down.
Has the hitter way out ahead there, and the count's 2-2. Everything needs to look the same, right? No matter what the velocity is.
Same motion, same arm speed as your fastball. And that changeup before that. Well, last one was good. The changeup before that one, he slowed everything down. If I can see it up here, the hitter can definitely see it in the box.
Then he goes inside with 93 to fill the count. Ross's career record, big league level, 2-9. 24 games, 19 starts. And that's up the middle, and that's right where Danny Espinosa was told by the scouts to play that guy. 1 out. Don't forget about our Harris Teeter food drive here at the ballpark this weekend. Bring your non-perishable food items, and you'll receive 2 tickets to a future game. And all the donations, of course, benefit the D.C. Area Food Bank. Stop by nationals.com/tickets for all your food bank and generosity information. We're going to thank you in advance for doing that. I know the Nationals first ladies have been involved in that for a lot of years, and it's been a wonderful way to help those in need here in the district. Here's Alfonso Soriano hitting .264. Hit 7th yesterday, 5th tonight, and that's over the dugout, out of play. I'm not at all questioning Mike Quaddy because he's doing what he's trying to do to win a ball game, but Alfonso Soriano, relatively early in the game yesterday, was taken out on a double switch, and he didn't look real happy about it in the dugout when we showed him after that.
Well, it doesn't.
But, you know, you hit your way up in the lineup, FP, and Alfonso is hitting around .260.
But a double switch isn't about where you're hitting or who's hitting in what spot. It's about how many innings you need out of the pitcher that you have on the mound. So I forget who was pitching yesterday during that time, but that's Mike Quaddy telling his pitcher that he needs more than 1 inning out of him. So it doesn't always matter where you hit in the lineup for the double switch. It's about, you know, what has transpired before this series, how his bullpen is, and how many innings he needs the guy on the mound to go.
Now that was when Jeff Samardzija came into the ball game in the 6th inning after the starter had gone 5 1/3. I think my point is that a couple of years ago, Alfonso Soriano was not the kind of hitter you would ever take out in a situation like that.
Well, I've seen some strange moves when it comes to double switching, and I thought that was the right move from Quaddy yesterday. But, you know, I've seen 3-hole hitters double switch for, 4-hole hitters double switch for. It all depends on if you played a doubleheader and your bullpen shot. And, you know, what's your starting rotation look like for the next day? Are you calling up a trip? I mean, there's so many things that go into it besides just the man and just the position in the lineup.
1-1 to Marlon Byrd, who's hitting .304. Only playing in his 47th game after taking a pitch in the face. And he'll go out to shortstop. Desmond gets it on that last tricky little hop. And it's a 1-2-3, top of the second for Detweiler. Who are your do-ups? The same guys as last inning. Coming up again. Action-packed table games. Red Hot Slots, Hollywood Casino, over in Charlestown Races, West Virginia. And since 4 active pitchers and the most teams they have pitched for, Octavio Dotel, at one time a pretty good closer. Arthur Rhodes has been around forever, so has LaTroy Hawkins. And Chad Godin, who's still in the organization, pitching for the Nats in the minor leagues.
And if Matt Stairs was a pitcher, he'd be on that list.
38-year-old Ramon Ortiz. Fastball tails outside. Roger Bernardina got all that started in the first inning when he got around the ball and hooked it into right center for a base hit. Ortiz had to throw 34 pitches to get 3 outs.
And he's being evaluated. Anytime you get called up from AAA and you get a major league start, your day-to-day, start to start. And Mike Quade said before the game publicly that, we'll see what we got from Ortiz tonight. We showed the graphic, 10 different starting pitchers for the Cubs this year, so they're searching. And same with Ross Detweiler. You get your day in the sun, you got to shine.
2-2 to Roger, target away. He'll look at it low. I like this because the guy just threw 34 pitches. Then your leadoff guy doesn't come up and make an out like in 1 or 2 pitches. Going to make him work for this 4th out. And Bernardina hits it a ton, but it's foul. Nearly to the top of the second deck. Not too many souvenirs up there.
That was loud. Just a long strike.
3-2 again. He'll take the walk. Nice at bat. Doing what a leadoff man should, and that's get on base. Danny Espinosa will be next.
And a single his first time up, walk his second time up. And I like how that walk went. You make the opposing pitcher work. You foul off some pitches. You get a 3-2 pitch that you take. Make him fire some bullets. Now you got speed on the base pass.
Espinosa pulled a base hit. through the right side first time. Bernardina had started with the pitch and then stopped, and then the ball scooted right by him into right field. And the Nats were really in business with Zimmerman following with a hit. That was a good sign for Ryan, too, staying on that ball, hitting it hard to right center. That's where he's most dangerous. Bernardina, good lead, and he just got back. He had his front foot beyond the cut of that grass, which is what, maybe 9-10 feet from the bag?
It's different in every ballpark, but yeah, you definitely know where your home cutout is, and Roger Bernardina's got it down to a science. He knows right where he wants to get to where he's comfortable. And we saw this yesterday from Mike Quade and the Cubs. They're not afraid to throw over a bunch of times in a row. And I used to do exactly what Roger Bernardina's doing. If they threw over 2, 3, 4 times in a row, I'd call timeout, wipe off all the dirt. If you're going to do that, guess what? I'm going to take my time.
That's right.
And get my breath back, get my legs under me.
You know, a little birdie in the press box today told me that F.P. Santangelo was a Cub killer.
Well, that was the only team. But I like playing the Chicago Cubs. Wrigley Field was my favorite ballpark. And something about just seeing that Cubby hat and that Cubby uni got me fired up.
No balls and 2 strikes now to Espinoza. With that base hit, Danny's hitting .245 now. And he gashes one. That's a tag. Smart play by Carlos Pena. He knew he couldn't get back to the bag. How about the line drives, though, the Nats are hitting?
Yeah, Ramon Ortiz isn't fooling anybody at this point in this baseball game. Look at the swing from Danny Espinoza. He's getting the head out, smoking that ball, and that had to hurt Carlos Pena's hand. That ball, you can't hit a line drive any harder than that. What a reaction play. So both corners so far for the Cubs have seen absolute screaming memes off the bat of the Nationals.
Here's Zimmerman now, 2 outs, bases empty. Breaking ball for a strike.
I think lost in the Ramirez-Quade argument over there at third base was Ian Desmond. Had a pretty good at-bat.
Sure did.
Hit that ball very hard.
He came real close to making it 5-0. Counts even, 1 ball, 1 strike with a Ryan take outside. That was a welcome hit for Zimmerman, who came into this game 14 for his last 79. And then you get to hop away from strike 2 after hitting yourself with it. Cubs and the rest of the National League Central got some bad news today. Out for 6 weeks, Albert Pujols is back in 2. He's supposed to pinch hit tonight and start tomorrow for St. Louis, and they're in first place by a game over Milwaukee with the Cubs 11 back. Outside, 2-2. Cincinnati is in St. Louis, by the way, for a showdown series. Reds have been struggling. They're a game and a half behind the Pirates in 4th place. Zimmerman takes strike 3, and he knows it. Leadoff walk, the double play, and the Nats are gone in the second, but they lead 3-0. right, we got to wear shades. Nats on top 3-0. Bryce Harper, first game in Harrisburg last night. Couple of hits, a run scored. We heard from him today.
Start seeing a lot more pitches and trying to draw a lot more walks and trying to get that on base percentage up a little bit more, and McKay's down, so that and trying to excel in the outfield and get better out there, and so I can get better in every aspect of the game. I want to be perfect, and that's how I want to be. So.
By the way, you can catch that entire interview on MASNsports.com. We're told it's about 5 minutes of Bryce Harper.
It looks like the mullet is making a return.
He can go out there with a mohawk mullet, you name it, if he hits like he's been hitting.
Well, I saw his 2 hits last night, and they were both laser beams.
Cool. Carlos Pena, the lone lefty against Ross Detweiler tonight. Top of the third underway. Pena hit the ball really well yesterday, a triple, 2 singles. And Detweiler pulled the string on him a little bit, had him way out ahead. Lance Nix takes care of it. Ross Detweiler with 5 hitters in a row, plus the double play, one of those. Solutions that help you achieve your financial goals. PNC for the achiever in you with our minor league report. We told you about Bryce Harper. Brad Peacock at Harrisburg continues to pitch really well. And then that other guy is a really interesting story. Matt Antonelli at Syracuse. Antonelli, 26-year-old former Padre first-round pick, and somewhere along the line he just lost his swing, and he's worked his way back up through the minor leagues and doing a job at AAA right now. Good for him.
Antonelli, Lombardozzi, Rizzo. I love this organization. They are doing it right.
Got to get some more pasta in the clubhouse. And here's Darwin Barney. Detweiler falls behind 2-0, gets a good fastball to the outer half. Detweiler, by the way, all of his outs on the infield after that first line drive to left. That hits Barney, turned his back to it, and it got him. He's aboard with 1 out. Now they could use Ramon Ortiz, who has 1 career homer, by the way, to move him over.
Just a fastball in the inner half, and you see the ricochet getting Wilson Ramos right in the mask.
Ramon Ortiz is an .078 career hitter with 4 RBIs. And that only home run as a member of the Washington Nationals. Zimmerman creeping in from third. That's a bunt that hits the plate area. Checks up. Detweiler throws, and he's safe as the ball goes into the runner. Ross was waiting for a nice easy hop, FP, that never came.
You could see that developing, and I've seen that happen a lot of times. That ball had backspin on it because of the first hop, so a little balata action on the baseball, and it just dies. Watch this. Hits, spins backwards, back toward Ortiz, just dies. And that's one where if you knew that was going to happen, maybe the catcher pops out and gets it, but it's hard to tell. Hindsight's 20/20. He thought that ball was going to pop right up to him.
So the Cubs get more than they bargained for. 2 on, 1 out. Top of the order, Reed Johnson. We'll wait for the scoring here. I would assume it would be a sacrifice and then possibly an error on the throw into the runner. I think a good throw gets him, but it was bang bang. Reed Johnson hit the ball extremely hard to Bernardina in left, first time up, and takes a fastball in there. Wow, they're going to give the error to Lance Nix for dropping the throw when the throw is right into the runner. It's a tough call.
And that's the wrong call.
I agree.
It's the guy's second game ever at first base, yesterday being his first. And I think maybe a more experienced first baseman comes up and gets that ball a little quicker, but that's a guy that's never played there before. He's out early today, taking ground balls at first, making feeds to second base, working on throws in the dirt. There's so many nuances and little things to playing first base. Everybody thinks just put whoever at first base, and it's not a hard position to play, but it is.
Yeah, this isn't the little leagues where you put the big slow kid at first base.
And he just made a really nice play, and he made a nice pick yesterday. And that was a tough play for a guy that hasn't played over there a lot.
0-2 to Reed Johnson. Target is in. Detweiler very close to the outer half with a breaking ball.
After this pitch came down just late enough to be a strike.
Could have been called strike 3 on the Kinetic pitch track. Kinetic North America, providing world-class technology to our national and homeland security customers. That ball hit well to left. Bernardina going back, tracking it and catching it right in front of the bullpen. Reed Johnson came within a few feet of tying this game.
He lined out his first time up to left and hit that ball deep to left his second time up. So Reed Johnson definitely has Ross Detweiler figured out. You look at the location of that pitch, chest high. Roger Bernardino did a nice job of getting back on the baseball, finding the fence, and getting the ball back in the infield.
Jeff Baker, the hitter, whose error really opened the gates for the Nats in the first inning.
I mean, get back to that error with Lance Nix. Ramon Ortiz might have been safe. That was a bang-bang play. Nobody advanced. We still had runners at first and second. I just think that's a sacrifice bunt. And that's that, or give him a base hit. I don't know how that's an error. He never got his glove on the baseball.
Totally agree with you. You know, and if Detweiler throws that ball up the line, wide of the line, you know, Lance can grab it away from the runner right here.
Well, watch where the runner is. I mean, that bang bang might have been safe. And how is that an error? What did he do wrong?
The ball hit the runner without hitting Nix in the glove.
That's not an error.
Bad call. 3-0. And Ross Detweiler does not want to lose Jeff Baker and have to face Aramis Ramirez here with the bases loaded. So he gets the 3-0 fastball in there. And he gets the outside corner to get the foul ball.
And pitch number 42 coming from Ross Detweiler in the third inning.
Three-two, runners on the move here. Throws him a strike and gets a big ground ball. Desmond has it, and the Nats are out of the inning. On to the bottom of the third. Washington still up 3-0. The Cubs helped with a crucial error as Washington got a nice crooked number on the scoreboard.
It all started with Roger Bernardina, been on base twice, but he started this game with a single. So Bernardina gets things going with a sharp single to right. Danny Espinosa follows, and so 3 line drives to right field, and the big error by Baker throwing the ball into left field. Couldn't get his feet underneath him. That allowed Danny Espinosa to score, and then Wilson Ramos over single in the hole, nicely placed. RBI, Zimmerman scores, and that's where we're at, 3-0 Nationals.
And Ian Desmond hit a rocket right to Ramirez, and the Nats unable to come up with any more runs. Curly W ball caps tonight. Good-looking crowd. Bottom of the third coming up. It'll be Nix, Worth, and Ankiel. And on that highly debated play, when FP and I thought they would maybe change the call, they have. It's an error on Detweiler for the throw, not on Lance Nix. It's pretty hard to catch a throw when it hits the runner before it ever gets to your glove.
Well, they probably thought about Lance Nix coming up to the booth and questioning it, and then they changed it.
I would change my mind very quickly under that scenario.
Excuse me, did you call that last play an error?
On me?
No, sir, we just changed it.
You know, I used to play football. In Texas, no less. Lance got an RBI for that grounder back in the first because you cannot assume the double play. And he hits this one out to the gap in right center, but Marlon Byrd will cruise over to get it. Nats are taking some good swings tonight. They've already been given 2 walks tonight, 267 on the year. So over $13,000 to the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Washington, D.C. from our friends at Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield, who would like to encourage all of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. And I'm sure our First Lady, Michelle Obama, who is at the ballpark tonight, would totally agree with that. She is huge on nutrition and fitness, and it all works together here.
Well, she wouldn't have liked me yesterday at the 4th of July barbecue after the game.
There's 1 or 2 days a year where that does not apply. 4th of July, Thanksgiving, and what, New Year's Eve maybe, or New Year's Day with all the football games?
Super Bowl Sunday.
Rick Ankiel next after Worth. Ortiz is giving Jason Worth a steady diet of breaking balls. He struck him out with 1 low. That's another strikeout, and Jason Worth is gone. Having a hard time picking up Ortiz.
And just a check swing. Did he go is the question. A good pitch from Ortiz down in the strike zone. And I don't think he went. I mean, from that angle, it looked like. Let's check it out from this angle. Might have gone from that side swing shot. It's 83rd strikeout of the year for Worth.
Blake DeWitt has taken over at second base for the Cubs. Not used to defensive changes this early in the ball game, so they snuck that one by us for a moment. And here's Rick Ankiel, who the Cubs walked intentionally to reload the bases before Ramos got the infield hit to make it 3-0. Rick, by the way, 6 for his last 11 since coming off the DL. Off-speed pitch had him way out ahead. Ortiz starting to settle in here. He has struck out 3 of the last 4 batters. There's a special one in there tonight, and that's our First Lady, Michelle Obama. Hanging out with the guys down by the President's Club on a wonderful Tuesday evening, a day after the 4th of July. She has a presence about her, doesn't she?
Absolutely.
And again, she's here because of what's called joining forces with the Washington Nationals, honoring our military families. A national initiative focusing on mobilizing all sectors of society to support military families, and she's joined in that by Dr. Jill Biden, the wife of Vice President Joe Biden. Thank you, First Lady. Ross Detweiler back to work, top of the 4th inning. Aramis Ramirez, the leadoff hitter for the Cubs.
Interesting day at the ballpark. Secret Service everywhere. Metal detectors to get into the yard.
Snipers on the roofs.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
That ball hit hard, and turnabout is fair play, correct? Nationals have been hitting rockets that have been caught, and Ryan Zimmerman grabs that one.
Well, that's why they call it the hot corner. We've seen this a couple of times tonight. Look how quick that ball gets to Ryan Zimmerman. And Carlos Pena got one like that. Ramirez got one just like that. So there's been a lot of hot shots tonight at the yard.
Reed Johnson hit one hard to start the game out to Bernardina. Ross Detweiler goes off speed to Giovanni Soto. And then he gets a strike, counts even. Soto bounced out to Espinosa. Up the middle, first time up, and that's where the Nats have him played.
In 1992, I was playing AAA baseball in Indianapolis, and George Bush Sr. was at the game, so we had Secret Service. We had to go through the metal detector. We had 4 guys in our dugout during the game. Barbara Bush, President Bush were there.
Tough play for Zimmerman to his left, in between hop. They will give a base hit to Giovanni Soto.
They were sitting in the first row over the third base dugout. You know what happened in the 3rd inning? Bench clearing brawl. They hit one of our guys. He went to the mound, and all of a sudden the Secret Service were in front of the dugout. They all had their hands to their ears, and they thought it was a diversion. And here we are with the President of the United States at a AAA baseball game, and we're all fighting on the mound.
Oh, boy.
They thought it was a plot.
So much for peacetime.
Told my buddy Archie Cianfrocco, he started. I said, what were you thinking? George Bush is here. Barbara Bush, they're sitting in the 2nd row, and you're going to charge the mound? Of all days to, maybe just run to first base, today would have been the day.
I remember filling out a couple of Montreal scorebooks, at least pages with the name Santangelo and Cianfrocco on the same page. 1 ball and no strikes to Alfonso Soriano, and that's a fastball that misses outside. That's only the 2nd hit given up by Ross Detweiler. That ball had a lot of severe overspin on Zimmerman. Do or die play for him. Target is in. They're going to pitch Soriano, get it in there far enough and maybe up.
Good
Alfonso's
zip.
always had a hard time laying off these.
Good zip on that fastball, and that's just a challenge fastball. 2-0 right by you. 93 miles an hour.
That's a 35-year-old hitter with a still pretty quick bat.
One of the biggest bats you'll ever see. 35 ounces.
Out of play, right side.
Most bats are 31, 32 ounces, maybe 33 on the bigger side, but Soriano uses a 35-ounce bat.
He hasn't led off for a while, but he was the leadoff guy for the Nats and other ball clubs, and he has 54 leadoff home runs. Only Ricky Henderson hit more in his career. 2-2 pitch.
And I guess the theory is when you use a heavy bat like that, if you can get it going and get the head out into the strike zone, it's going to be denser wood, it's going to be harder wood. If you get that thing going and make contact, the ball's going to go a long way.
Alfonso signed with the Hiroshima club in Japan when he was 18 years of age. He played 3 years over there before he signed with the Yankees. You know how many homers he hit in 3 years? 12. He was just a kid. And then he started developing his power in New York with 18 the first year and then 39. Getting some healthy cuts right here. But he can't get over the top of anything against Ross Detweiler. Marlon Byrd, another former Nat, waiting. By the way, the Nats, as compensation for losing Soriano, 3 draft choices: Josh Smoker, Michael Burgess, and Jordan Zimmerman. 2-2 pitch. Serious jammage on that one.
94 miles an hour from Detweiler. So all of a sudden Ross Detweiler's getting loose, and Jordan Zimmerman likes to see 94.
So the compensation guy faced Soriano yesterday and got him 2 out of 3 times, with the only one, that bloop single that fell in. Davey Johnson had an interesting thought on that today, if we get a chance to get to it, as far as how that should be ruled, a play like that. 2-2 pitch. And Soriano will pop this one up. Danny Espinosa over to get under it. That'll be the second out here in the 4th inning. Reminder, Friday, July 8th, for the first 10,000 fans 21 and older, we have a tricolor ball cap for you from Miller Lite. 7:05 ball game against the Colorado Rockies when they come to town. Nationals.com/tickets. Davey Johnson said today he wishes there was a stat called maybe a team error on a play like that, because he said a play like that, it goes down as a hit, which I'm sure as a hitter you loved. But Davey thought it was very unfair to the pitcher to get charged with a couple of earned runs on a play like that. And that debate has been around for a lot of years.
Yeah, when a couple of guys call for a baseball and maybe it drops right in between them all.
Right. You know, and I think the thing you would do there, you would not charge the hitter with an at bat if you're going to call it a team error. That's debatable, but that one has never gained a whole lot of steam. 0-1 to Marlon Byrd. Counts even.
Well, along those lines, I would give a guy a sacrifice if he gets a runner from second to third with no outs.
Swinging away like a nice little ground ball right side.
Fly ball to right field. He tags up, ground ball to second base. The guy advances, gets to third base with 1 out. You give yourself up.
That would help some batting averages for certain kinds of hitters, that's for sure. The good fundamental guys would benefit from that. Desmond can go right to the bag, and the top of the 4th inning is over. Ross Detweiler shutting out the Cubs on only 2 hits. Has anybody ever been locked out of the Oval Office? He had the other 3 locked out, but it didn't last long enough for him to be able to finish it off. Said he got a little cocky there, FP.
I like how he put his hands to the side like I have this race won. And all of a sudden, I think we all know how this one's going to end.
Yeah, Abe, the great closer.
Somebody by a nose.
Only closer in the ballpark better than Drew Storn is Abe Lincoln. On to the bottom of the fourth. Yeah, we'll see your Strasburg jersey, buddy. He'll be here soon. Wilson Ramos leads off bottom four against Ramon Ortiz, who has settled his evening down. He's thrown 58 pitches through 3. Ross Detweiler's thrown 58 pitches through 4. Ooh, breaking ball sitting up, and Wilson couldn't get to it. Ortiz career record 85 and 82. This is his 213th career start. And against the Nationals, he's 1-1 with a 4.84 ERA in 5 games, 2 starts for different ball clubs. He's in the National League in 05 with Cincinnati, Colorado in 07, and the Nats in between. Ian Desmond had a great swing first time up. He's next. Ramos on 2-2. Good eye.
Spin Williams saw Steven Strasburg throw a side session recently and said he was very impressed through 30 pitches and was letting it fly, was really excited about the velocity, the command of his pitches. He said the next step is throwing to hitters, but everybody very excited about the progress from Steven Strasburg.
So is he snapping off breaking balls at this point?
He is, and he's kind of letting it go a little bit.
Nice.
I think everybody very pleased.
3-2 to Ramos, and that's a leadoff walk. That's the third time in 4 innings the Nationals had put their first man on. Good spot for Ian Desmond here. AT&T trivia for you. How about that? 7 walk-off wins with their one yesterday.
And you talk about walk-off wins and the effect they have on a ball club. When you're the last man standing, you're walking people off the field on a consistent basis. Nothing brings a team together more than that. You cross home plate, you're all there, you're having fun, you're dumping Gatorade on each other, you go back into the clubhouse, the tunes are blaring. And that translates into so many more wins throughout the course of a season. When you win those games in dramatic fashion,
you just know you're going to win, right?
You do. You get that feeling in the dugout, in the clubhouse, that it's just a matter of time. We're behind in this game. Well, we were behind 2 days ago, and we figured out a way to win that. So, you know, all of a sudden you have a franchise and a ball club that maybe in the past was thinking about, oh, here we go again, and ways to lose games. Now you have a team that's figuring out ways to win games and having that ultimate confidence late in the game.
Desmond with a fly ball to right on an 0-2 pitch for the first out. By the way, the San Francisco Giants had a lot of those walk-off wins last year, so they believe they can always win a ball game.
They had a lot this year, too.
Only 8 all of last year for the Nats, but the Giants and the Kansas City Royals lead all of baseball with 9 this year. There's Ross Detweiler, who should be bunting with 1 out to try to get Ramos to scoring position. They're charging from the corners, and Ross bounces it off the plate, and then it went sideways. When a bunt takes that high of a bounce, you know it hit home plate.
Well, if it takes that high of a bounce and it's fair, Wilson Ramos will be on second base. So not a bad thing if you can keep it fair. And look where Pena's charging. Look where Ramirez is standing right now. I don't know that I've ever seen a third baseman that close to start with. Usually they'll creep to there.
Yeah,
but he is playing Little League third base right now against Ross Detweiler, and he's getting closer. You got to pull the bat back and hit one by him.
He's as close as the pitcher by the time the ball is thrown, and that's quickly 0-2 on Detweiler. And a lot of times with the pitcher, you leave the bunt on with 2 strikes. You don't want a double play ball here.
And you guys always hear me talking about it. The farthest guy away in this situation is the pitcher. You see where Ramirez is. See Pena's charging from first base. You bunt it softly back to the pitcher. Usually you get the job done, but you do have to bunt it.
Ross taking a stab at it. He strikeout victim number 6 for Ortiz. And so Ramos still at first base with 2 outs with Roger Bernardina coming up. Nats on top 3-0. They got them all in the first. RBIs by Nix and Ramos. And a big throwing error by Jeff Baker on a would-be double play ball off the bat of Lance Nix with the bases loaded, nobody out. Rogers had a good night so far with a single, a run scored, and a walk. Nats, by the way, have Ortiz over 70 pitches now here in the 4th inning.
And see how they're working Roger Bernardina. First 2 pitches in the sequence away. So you hit a line drive to right your first time up, and all of a sudden, that's major league hitting. You have to adjust. They're going to adjust to you. So 3 pitches on the outer half after you pull a ball to right field.
And they kind of remember that one he hit in the upper deck, too, that was just foul. He hooks another one out there. It's lined right at Reed Johnson. Guys are swinging the bats tonight into the 5th inning on a beautiful night in our nation's capital. The Nats 3-0. Ridge Mountains on this Tuesday evening in early July. Visit AFCEA.org, the Association for IT Pros. And here's Debbie with the sideline report.
Well, Ryan Zimmerman told me today that Jason Worth will be the first person to tell you he's not happy with the way he's been playing, but Ryan is confident that things will turn around.
You know, coming to a new team, you know, kind of getting acclimated to a new atmosphere, a new, way of life, I guess, can be tough. But he's too good of a player to go through that the whole year. And I think we're really going to see a big half from Jason. And I think yesterday kind of shows you why he's such a great player.
Of course, we did see what great baseball instincts Jason has. Ryan also said that what Jason brings to the team in terms of leadership is so huge. He's constantly teaching the younger guys. He's a great presence in the clubhouse. And Ryan said that really goes a long way in building a winner. Bob, FP?
All right, Debbie, and Ryan Zimmerman, of course, well said. And in terms of Worth playing poorly, I don't think that's the case. I mean, defense, base running, he's really good. It's just the hitting. Third part of that equation, and when that happens, the Nats will be on to something special. FP, your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I mean, the offense hasn't been there all season for him, and he's been searching. We've talked about how many stances he's tried, the adjustments he's trying to make at the plate, and I think anytime you see that as a baseball guy, that you know the guy is searching. Yeah, but there's other ways to contribute. When you have 7 years of security, you don't have to worry about your numbers so much, but you should worry about wins and losses. You know, there's other guys out here that are fighting to stay at this level. They can't wait to get their first multi-year deal. So, there's motivation in a sense from a personal standpoint to put up big numbers. But, the hard part is done for Jason Worth. The hay is in the barn. Now it's all he has to worry about is winning and helping his team win on a daily basis. And we've been hearing the boos recently here in D.C., and you know, that's up to every fan. If you feel that, you feel that, and nobody can tell you what to do. But I think for Jason Worth, he's hearing it, and he knows. And for the Nats to keep doing what they're doing and play over 500 baseball in the second half and to keep turning heads around baseball, Jason Worth is going to have to contribute.
Coming into this ball game tonight, Worth and Zimmerman, and of course Ryan's been hurt, we're both hitting 224. Now, if we would have told you on July 5th, those two guys are hitting 224, what would you think the Nats record would be? Ross Detweiler takes care of it and runs it right over to Lance Nix, and the top of the 5th inning's off to a good start.
And when you've had a half a season to adjust, Bob, to a new place, we've talked about a lot in the first half. A new place, new uni, you know, new town, new fans. There's an adjustment process. But in my mind, that adjustment process is over. You're a national now. You've played a half a season here. You know your way around. You have a routine. And so, you know, that part of the equation is gone. Now it's time to produce.
Well said. Outside to Barney. By the way, that was the 8th ground ball out for Ross Detweiler tonight, including a first inning double play.
And just for the record, wrapping it up, I think he will.
Well, the track record's pretty solid. You know, and in all honesty, there's no Ryan Howard, Chase Utley here in this lineup, or Jimmy Rollins leading off, those kind of veteran guys. But the Nats have a lineup that is developing and coming of age around Jason Worth.
Yeah, there's a Nix and a Morse, though.
That's right. He has had plenty of RBI opportunities, and for Jason Worth to be on a pace for fewer than 60 RBIs on the year is very surprising. 2-1 to Barney, hit by a pitch first time. Yeah, foul tip into Ramos, mid, strike 2. Detweiler gets inside on the right-handed batter and gets a routine fly ball out to Roger Bernardina. One of the craziest days in the history of the Nationals, Monday, September 4th. It was Labor Day of 2006. Ramon Ortiz no-hit the St. Louis Cardinals for 8 innings. Pujols was in the lineup that day. Scott Rowland was in the lineup that day. Ronnie Belliard was in the lineup that day. And then leading off the bottom of the 8th, he hit his only career home run at spacious RFK Stadium. But then in the 9th inning,
who got the knock?
Aaron Miles led off the 9th inning with a base hit, and after a line drive double play, Albert Pujols hit one into the upper deck in left field. But the Nats beat the Cardinals 4-1. That was the St. Louis team, by the way, on its way to a World Series championship. And on that day, the Nationals won their 60th game of 06, and Ramon Ortiz's record was 10-12 with that win. It was a memorable day, and no Nats pitcher has ever been that close to a no-hitter. 3 outs to go, and he couldn't do it.
Did he have a whole roll of red tape on his bat that day? Because look at his bat right now. And that's a whole roll of blue tape.
I don't know, but I do remember General Manager Jim Bowden pouring a bottle of water on his head at home plate after the game. A kind of substitute Gatorade shower. Swing and a miss, and this inning is over. On to the bottom of the 5th. Detweiler having quite a return tonight. Espinoza leads off. You look up at him, that is an imposing, intimidating presence that we're getting from President Lincoln right there.
Well, it is. It was my first 4th of July here last night, and it was unbelievable.
Well, on the 6th of July, it'll be Randy Wells for the Cubs tomorrow night. Tom Gorzolani for the Nats. He was 11-11 in 2 years with the Cubs in 09 and 10. And in Tom's last 2 starts, 1 run in 14 innings, Nats extra 6:30. FP and I join you at 7, and Gorzolani throws first pitch 5 minutes later. Espinosa, Zimmerman, and Nix for the Nats, bottom of the 5th. Ortiz starts this inning with 75 pitches. And the great thing about Ross Detweiler and what he's doing tonight, Ross's innings are going so quickly, we're really not having a whole lot of time to talk about how well he's throwing. Up the middle and a base hit for the scrambling Danny Espinosa, who makes a big turn of the bag, and he's 2 for 3.
Well, the command and the control is there from Detweiler, but the thing that I'm very impressed with is 94, 95 miles an hour. That kind of velocity from the left side,
yeah,
plus strikes equals major leagues for a long time.
Ross Detweiler, 8 outs of the 15 he has gotten tonight. He has only 1 strikeout. That's fine. He has a double play ball. And he pitched around his own error back in the 3rd inning. Here's Zimmerman. Well, we don't know much about Ramon Ortiz and his pitch counts at AAA Iowa. But in 16 starts, let's just do the math. He threw 99 innings in 16 starts. So he averaged right around 6 innings per start. And tonight, with a long pitch count, the Nats might be smelling some blood here in the middle of the game. Ryan, 1 for 2 with a base hit to right and a looking 3rd strike. Good take on a close slider, 2-0. Really turning the count around now in his favor. Cubs, the A's, and the Rockies have all had 10 starters in the big leagues this year. Most of any teams. And Zimmerman slams one into left field. So Espinosa and Zimmerman have 2-hit nights. And in front of them, Roger Bernardina with a base hit and a walk has been on base twice.
And they've been swinging the bats all night long, but all singles. They're looking for a big blow to put this game on ice early. Another good swing from Ryan Zimmerman, getting the slider out over the plate. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. And after 3 runs in the 1st, the Nats are looking to add on. And
the phone rings in the bullpen. By the way, it has rung a lot this year. That was Mark Riggins making that call. Fewest average innings per start in baseball. The Cubs, 5.58. The only team whose starters disappear quicker, Baltimore's 5.55.
I thought you were going to say most minutes over their plan.
Maybe that too. That's really bad news when the pitching coach calls the bullpen and the operator comes on. Lily Tomlin comes on the phone and says, "You've used up your minutes." There's that list. And none of those ball clubs are real close to first place right now.
That's the sign, the universal sign. Are you ready? You see them take off their hats, and maybe the phone isn't working in the dugout because that's old school.
Yeah.
In the minor leagues, you'll see the pitching coach come out of the dugout or the manager, and if he puts his hat in the air and the guy in the bullpen puts his hat in the air, that means he's ready. Now with all the modern technology, they're tweeting and texting and using the phones in the dugout.
Mark Riggins, a good baseball man. He was a pitching coach in St. Louis under Joe Torre. 1-2 to Nix. And Lance takes a big cut, fouls it off to the left. Yeah, there's another Chris Carpenter in baseball. The 3rd that I've known of. And he's a reliever for the Cubs. Nix can't reach that one up and away for the first out. Ortiz, strikeout number 7.
Kinetic on the pitch track. Let's check out that strikeout to Lance Nix. It looks like just a change up away, 82 miles an hour, and he was looking for the fastball.
Jason Worth struck out with the bases loaded in the first. With the bases empty, 1 out in the third. And here in the fifth, 2 on, 1 out. He's looking for contact.
He saw a steady dose of sliders his last at bat, everything away.
Pulls that one to the shortstop. Should be 2. Turned well by DeWitt. And Jason Worth's having another rough night with the bat. On to the 6th inning. It's the Nats on top 3-0. .44 strikes, shutting out the Cubs on 2 hits so far. And a reminder, expect flexibility here at Nationals Park. It's our midseason flex plan. Buy 3 games, get a 4th one free. Plus, you get a new era ball cap. It's the official ball cap of Major League Baseball. And I think you know which team that might be on that thing. Go to nationals.com/flex. You can look just like Danny Espinosa with a ball cap on. I don't know if you'll have his range.
Or his pop.
Or his quickness.
Or his arm.
Or his facial hair. Top of the 6th inning. See, I beat you to one, Mr. Fashion Police. Reed Johnson has hit the ball really well twice. Once a line drive to Bernardina. And then the other one, a fly ball that pinned Roger up against the bullpen wall. Out in left field. He's going to get a hit this time into the gap. Reed Johnson's had 3 really good at-bats tonight. He's always been a good, solid ball player. .282 career hitter in 8 years with Toronto, the Cubs, the Dodgers, and now back with the Cubs.
In limited time this year, he has been outstanding offensively for the Cubbies. And like you said, partner, he's seen the ball big off Ross Detweiler, and that ball was smoked. A leadoff double for the Cubs.
That's only their 3rd hit, and that'll get some stirring going in the Nationals bullpen. Jeff Baker did have a couple of at-bats, but he left the ball game with lower back spasms. And so left-handed hitter Blake DeWitt, who replaced him at second base, hits for the first time tonight.
Big
Todd
pot.
Coffey, yep.
Big pot brewing.
DeWitt a .267 hitter. He had .277 his first 2 years in the big leagues with the Dodgers. Jeff Baker did have the earlier single back in the first inning, and he's now been replaced. And Detweiler with a 1-1 pitch outside. This is a key hitter for him. It's how he could keep Aramis Ramirez from representing the tying run.
That's a key inning for him. The 75th pitch right there from Detweiler. All of a sudden, you're looking at a few pitches up in the strike zone.
He'll get a fly ball out to left center, tracked by Rick Ankiel. And a very important first out.
A good job of keeping the ball away from DeWitt, unable to move the runner. When you're playing winning baseball, you do all the little things right. We've seen teams, Bob, this year, 10, 15 games over 500. Every time there's a runner on second base, nobody out, they get him over, or at least it seems like it. And even though you're down 3 runs, I'm sure the Cubs would love a run right here in the 6th inning. So that's an unproductive out from Blake DeWitt. Hey, vote for that guy on the left. There you go. Look, he definitely belongs in Washington, doesn't he?
How about that?
Running for office. I like Mike. Vote for Morse.
Nice.
I think he's in 4th last I heard, so get online right now while Steve McCaddy's out to the mound and vote for Michael Morse to go to the All-Star game.
You can do that by texting N4 to 89269. And if you're so inclined, Adam Jones of the Orioles, A2 to 89269.
You know what's cool about it is he's very open. Hey, vote for me. A lot of guys will say, whatever, I'm just happy to be on the list, and, I'm worried about the team winning, and, saying all the right things, but he's generally enthusiastic, and it's refreshing. He wants people to vote for him for the All-Star team. I love it.
Is that John Lennon with the Vote Morse sign?
Yes, and I'm sure Michael had something to do with that.
That's funny.
It's like he's running for student body president. Vote for Michael Morse. Go do it right now.
Here's Ramirez 0-2. He has hit into a 6-4-3 double play and lined out hard to third. I think John Lannon's going to be hearing from the MLB uniform police on that one.
No way.
Oh, that ball is crushed to left field, and this is a 3-2 game. That's why that out against DeWitt was so important, as Ramirez hits his 13th of the year. In Chicago, that ball would have been in somebody's apartment.
You can kind of tell there's been some pitches up in the strike zone from Detweiler this inning, and that's just a fastball out over the plate. Serious extension from Ramirez. He took a pitch on the outer half and pulled it. Look at that extension. Look at that power. Look at him stay through that baseball. So not a bad pitch from Detweiler, but against a power hitter, he did some serious damage, and that's going to be it for the lefty.
302nd career homer for Aramis Ramirez finishes Ross Detweiler. They'll go 5 1/3 and give up just those 2 runs. Cubs have 2 hits for the first time in an inning, and that was a blast. CHN Nationals. Enter for your chance to win one of 30 Nationals autographed items that Masson is giving away all month long. Bullpen is going to have to get 11 outs tonight. And here's Giovanni Soto, who's hit 8 home runs. Todd Coffey with a fastball high. Coffey, 36th appearance, 33 innings. That opponent's hitting just .246 against him.
And he'll let you know how it's going to go early with that slider.
Front door variety, right on the corner. And both of us had a little body English going there, hoping not for a swing.
And that one backed up on her.
Yep. Those kind can go a long way. And the count's 1-2. Slide piece, blown away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good spot for a 2-strike slide piece. Started on the outer half, see if you get his chase strike 3.
Hung that one a little bit, and it's hit well. Bernardina can't reach it. Right into the corner. Cut off by Roger with a good play. Now that was a hanging breaking ball right over the plate. And the tying runs at second base with 1 out.
The first slider from Coffey backed up. The second slider was right down the middle, didn't have a whole lot on it. And you look at this one, a good downward movement late, but just right out over the heart of the plate. A good swing from Soto.
That'll bring up Alfonso Soriano. You hang one to this guy, he'll hit it as far as Aramis Ramirez did.
Well, there's certain nights when you go out there you don't have your A stuff, and we talked about it the other night with Drew Storn. You know, how do you pitch on the nights when you don't have your nasty stuff? And to me, it's about trusting your fastball. You throw 94, 95 miles an hour, locate your fastball, trust your fastball, and don't fight the slider. It's such a feel pitch. And certain nights, as we've seen with Todd Coffey, to where it's really, really good, and other nights, you know, he has trouble throwing it. So on a night when maybe it's not breaking like you want it, you can either fight it or trust your fastball.
Fastball up, and Soriano just a tardy swing, not by much, and the count's even 1-1.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of pitchers realize how hard it is to hit 95 miles an hour. You know, in today's game with these big guys going deep all the time, using these big bats that we talk about, the maple. You know, we've seen so many times guys try to trick hitters. You throw 95 and you locate it. Man, that is tough to hit.
Great fastball, tailing back to the outside corner.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Trust your fastball, locate it. There's not a whole lot you can do with 95 on the black away. That was a great pitch.
Double homer double for the Cubs here in the 6th. Soto aboard. 1 out. And a 1-2 coming inside target. That would indicate fastball, but Coffey a step off. And a good RBI man, Marlon Byrd on deck. Pretty good slider. That one was down low. And another low slider. This is playable. Lance Nix grabs the foul ball for the second out. One dangerous hitter retired by Coffey, another one coming in.
Just a good sequence all the way around from Todd Coffey. So hung a couple sliders to Soto and comes back in the strike zone with a good fastball away and a couple of good sliders down in the zone. And that was a nice job of getting out a very dangerous hitter with a tying run on second.
Marlon Byrd has bounced to short twice. Second one was deflected by Detweiler on a 1-6 to Desmond, ending the fourth. Pretty good movement away for the right-handed batter. Nats 3, Cubs 2, top of the sixth. He's been placing that fastball running right to the outside corner. That was a real key pitch for him in the Soriano at bat.
Yeah, 95 miles an hour with late movement. Just a backdoor sinker from Todd Coffey. You see Bird looking at it. That pitch looked like it was a foot outside and came back and got the corner.
0-2 here. Got him on a slider outside.
And a fist pump.
The fastball set up the slider because Bird thought it was another number one. Todd Coffey gets out of it after giving up the double, and the Nats hanging on to a 3-2 lead. Great view, though, from left field. We go bottom six, Ankiel, Ramos, and Desmond. Meanwhile, they're playing some solid baseball down there in Potomac. Carolina League champion Potomac Nationals, Fitzner Stadium. Ticket information, 703-590-2311. Knowing them, they have a quarter moon night going down there sometime soon. Very creative with their promotions and their giveaways. PotomacNationals.com. Real baseball, real close. Rick Ankiel has been intentionally walked and struck out. So Ramon Ortiz giving up 3 runs in the first inning, trying to outlast Ross Detweiler, who went 1 out into the 6th. Cubs bullpen is working. Looked like a changeup he turned over. Good take by Ankiel. Chris Carpenter, the righty, joined by veteran lefty John Graybo. Right side, Ankiel has his 7th base hit in his last 13 at-bats. The Nats have had leadoff men, FP, all over the bases tonight, 5 out of 6.
And having trouble getting them all the way around, but stay hot, Rick Ankiel. And since coming off the DL, he has been all over the baseball with his barrel. And there hasn't been a cheapie in the bunch. Swinging the bat well, seeing the ball big. Going to be playing a lot of center field.
Wilson Ramos with an RBI infield hit and a walk. He'll bounce one left side, a double play ball. Ramirez double clutched, and no chance for DeWitt to make the relay. Ankiel all over him.
Well, the double clutch sealed the deal that wasn't going to be a double play. Not so much because they didn't have time with Wilson Ramos running, because Blake DeWitt had a lot of Rick Ankiel all over him. You see right here, the game moves so fast at the major league level. That double pump allowed Rick Ankiel to get right there. All of a sudden, you feel the runner coming as a second baseman. You can sense that you hear him sliding. You sense that he's right there. Not a lot of contact, but right on top of you, not a whole lot you can do.
That ball into right center from Desmond, and it's speared by Reed Johnson. And Ian Desmond is hitting into the hardest luck of anybody tonight.
If you're Ian Desmond, you can't hang your head because of a couple of hard hit outs tonight. Those are good signs, and that just might be the calm before the storm. Lined out to third base his first time up. That's a great swing right there. And just a little too much hang time. The ball trying to find the gap. A good play from Reed Johnson.
Davey Johnson will pinch hit Michael Morse here for Todd Coffey. Michael's first action since being hit on the arm by a pitch. Well, Ramon Ortiz, a tough hitter to face, and I know it's batting practice, but from the cuts Michael was taking today, he certainly looked like there was no problem flexing that arm.
He's good. He's been begging to get in the lineup the last 3 days, and erring on the side of caution with one of your best hitters. Yeah, he put on a serious 5th of July fireworks display in batting practice.
Had one guy with a ball club describe Davey Johnson to me today. When it comes to injuries, when you're ready to go, he still wants you to wait that one more day just to make sure. That's a foul tip. Michael arrives in the batter's box hacking.
Well, you know what that tells me is I tell him a day early that I'm good to go.
Well, Mike's been telling him for 3 days.
If he's going to give me one more day, I'm going to lie the first day and say, Skip, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Sometimes you got to take that thoroughbred and lasso him and keep him at bay for a couple of days. That's a generous strike call from Mike Everett. Ortiz has thrown unofficially 95 pitches now. Was it a strike?
Let's check it out. What's the pitch track say?
I didn't think so.
Pitch track says that would have hit a lefty.
0-2 now. They might as well stay out there. That's way out. That would have been behind a lefty. Michael Morse did do some pinch hitting earlier in the year when he wasn't going well and didn't start some ball games. 1 out of 8 in that category.
And that's why he should be on the All-Star team. If the object is to win the game, he knows how to come off the bench.
Right off the end of his bat, Ramos waits for it to go by. DeWitt plays it, and the Nats are gone. Leadoff men aboard all night long. Washington hasn't scored since the first. There's only been one inning tonight, the third, when they did not have the leadoff man aboard. Espinosa, couple of hits. Zimmerman, couple of hits. Ross Detweiler pitched well, but then gave up that homer to Ramirez in the sixth. This one, long way to go.
And Big Pot was nice tonight. He didn't have a slider early, but made the adjustment, so he made some big pitches when he had to. You look at the slider to Soriano, down and away. He popped that up, and pretty good one right here to strike out Bird. So Big Pot, very strong tonight.
Ross Detweiler's pitch count, 78 pitches, 49 strikes. Coffey gets 2 outs. And these days, really, every outing is important for Sean Burnett with his recent struggles.
And Davey said as much last time. He said, he's our guy. We got to get him going, and that's his inning. He needs to get lefties out. So a good test right out of the gate with Carlos Pena.
Burnett has pitched in 38 games this year, and he's given up runs in 11 of those. Here's Pena, then the number 8 man Barney. Then we'll see what Mike Quaddy does with his number 9 spot, where Ortiz has suddenly racked up 6 innings with only 2 earned runs. Sean Burnett last pitched first game of the doubleheader on Saturday when the Pirates beat the Nats 5-3, and he gave up 2 runs in the 8th inning. Deceptive breaking ball gets him a strike there.
Deceptive, sharp, nasty, filthy. That was a good one.
Isn't it nice when everybody has to say all-star before your game now, warming up in the bullpen?
Yeah. Does he have to put that under his name when he signs autographs now? All-star 11?
Some guys do. I think the year they go, they kind of do it. Ground ball right side. Lance Nix the scoop. Great job of getting his feet and momentum going right toward Burnett. Always a big first out.
Second game in his career, or he's been playing there his whole life? You tell me. It's not that easy. That's an outfielder, folks, that's played 1 game in the majors, and look at the feed right on the money to Sean Burnett. And I guess if you're an athlete, it doesn't matter where you play, you get the job done. That's perfect. I mean, you work on that in spring training for weeks and weeks and weeks, and you come out early and you do pitcher's fielding practice, and you hit the ball to first baseman, and you flip it to the pitcher. Well, that's a guy that didn't do that once in spring training. He made it look that easy, like he's been doing it his whole life.
At least for now, Ramon Ortiz has come out on deck. Darwin Barney, the hitter, 0 for 1, hit by a pitch. Who would have thought Ortiz might be in a position to take the mound in the bottom of the 7th? We'll see. The Nats have had a chance to knock him out several times tonight, haven't done it. Out to short. Desmond on the charge and the scoop. Quickly down the line, Barney, and out by a step, 2 outs. And they are calling Ortiz back. Tony Campana will be the pinch hitter for the Cubs. Beautiful night at Nationals Park where the Nats are 25-15 on the air. Bob FP and Debbie with you here. Masson HD's second game of a 4-game set with the Cubs. Tony Campana is a very, very quick left-handed batter. Hit into a key double play yesterday when Espinosa and Desmond turned a wonderful 4-6-3.
I thought that was a turning point of yesterday's game. I mean, Tony Campana, a very solid fundamental player, couldn't get the bunt down. Hit into the double play, and Livan Hernandez could get the bunt down. That allowed Jason Worth to steal third and win the baseball game.
Yeah, that was in the 9th inning. And then the next man, Soto, singled, so the double play was huge. And so here we are 1 night later in the 7th inning. It's a lefty-lefty matchup as Sean Burnett looks for a 1-2-3 7th. They'll have to hurry. And Campana beats Sean Burnett to the bag. That guy can fly. He's aboard with 2 outs.
A pretty good play once again by Lance Nix. And that was just a matter of Campana being faster than everybody involved. You watch the bunt, and you had a feeling he was thinking about it. Lefty on the mound, the left-on-left matchup. And look at the feed from Nix to Burnett. And that wasn't a case of Sean Burnett getting over there late. That was just one guy faster than the other. And look at the hustle from Campana. I guarantee if you run down there and ask him, he would have traded that bunt for the one yesterday.
He stole 48 bases at AA Tennessee last year. Made the Southern League All-Star team, and in his minor league career, he stole 136.
Well, this might be a big test for Lance Nix, and Davey Johnson's going to go to the mound. I was going to say if Campana thought about going first move off Burnett, Nix would be tested having to relay the ball to second base, but it looks like Tyler Clippard's coming in.
Well, sometimes closers have to come in the 8th, and sometimes setup men have to come in the 7th. Sean Burnett gets a couple of outs, and it's Clippard time in a moment. Pitching solid. Coffee. Burnett gets a couple of outs, and now the All-Star.
And I like the way Davey Johnson is handling his staff today. Ross Detweiler looked like he was out of gas, got him right out of there. And you see Reed Johnson tonight. He's had some great at-bats against lefties, so what does he do? He gets Burnett out there, gets his All-Star in the baseball game, and you're seeing a manager that really knows how to handle a bullpen.
Davey Johnson, big on matchups. So he's got the one he wants right now. No way Reed Johnson, a right-handed batter, was going to be hitting against Sean Burnett with the at-bats this guy has had tonight. He has killed the ball 3 times. Only a double to the gap in left center last time to show for it. Tying runs on base. Clippard upstairs with a changeup. Man, that was really slow. 75. Lee Vaughn-like on that one.
Well, this is where controlling the running game, Trent Jewett, Davey Johnson have their work cut out for them. They're going to have to keep Campana off second base. So you might see a lot of throwovers. You might see a pitch out in the sequence, but when you're behind 1-0, you can't pitch out. So it's up to Wilson Ramos to be on his haunches, to be ready to throw.
Swing and a miss. Throw is high. Gets away, and the base runner doesn't know where the ball is. And for Campana, his 9th in 10 attempts.
And Reed Johnson was out over the plate, and if Wilson Ramos made contact with Reed Johnson, they would have got a cheap out. I mean, look where Johnson is after the swing, and he is hanging all over the plate. Good jump by Campana right there. So you see the speed. Good throw from Wilson Ramos, but look at where Johnson is. If you initiate contact right there,
yeah,
you get batter's interference, and he's out.
Well, Ramos will realize that in time. Step into the guy and claim obstruction.
But when you've thrown out so many guys all year long, I guarantee you there's one thing on your mind, is that throwing out Campana. you don't think about things like that. You're just trying to get the runner out.
1 ball, 1 strike to Reed Johnson. Nationals lead and a possible win for Detweiler hanging in the balance here in the 7th inning.
I really like, and I think Pudge has instilled this in Wilson Ramos, how the catchers go out to the mound in big situations and have talks. A lot of times it's overrated, and you'll see guys that go out there because they're look-at-me catchers. They want to show everybody in the ballpark, everybody on the other team, that they are in control of the game. But how many times this year have we seen in crucial situations, either Wilson Ramos or Pudge Rodriguez, go out to the mound with 2 strikes and make sure they know what their pitcher wants to throw, what they feel 100% confident in throwing in that big situation.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Crowd clapping for a 3rd out here in the 7th. And they'll get it on a high heater by Tyler Clippard, who continues to do everything the Nats need him to do. Time to stretch. Mila Kunis in theaters July 22nd, rated R. How about a little jaunt down Pennsylvania Avenue? Hey, by the way, we're selling them at the ballpark now again this year. Brand new design with the curly W. Had a big month selling them in June, and hope you can join us for the baseball scorebook. We know a lot of you fans like to keep score, whether at home or at the ballpark. And there it is.
It is a great scorebook. I absolutely love it.
Available in the team store. Baseball not included. That's just a visual effect.
The best part about it is the weather map on the back for Bob's Bootleg Weather.
Too can be an amateur weatherman. No, he's kidding. No weather information unless you write it in yourself. John Graybo, longtime Pittsburgh Pirate, 58 games for the Cubs the last 2 years. And for Chicago this year, he'll make his 36th appearance, so he's been busy.
Fastball slider change from Graybo.
Bernardino with another line drive, speared by Reed Johnson. Wow, as he swung the bat tonight.
Another L9 for Roger Bernardino, and he's hit all 3 balls tonight on the screws. He walked in the 2nd inning. He's seen it big. Tonight's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Well, Roger Bernardino could easily be 3 for 3 with a walk tonight. Danny Espinosa, right-handed, has been really good all year. Graybo unleashes one to the barrier, 2-0. It's a good take.
Danny, great plate discipline, of course, there. Hitting .313 from the right side.
I'm looking at Graybo's breakdown right now. Fastball 88, slider 82, change 81. Only throws the fastball 39% of the time.
Danny almost hit that ball right under his spikes.
Another good take.
If he sees a fastball down the middle, he might dive straight backwards. Four-pitch walk, and the Nats will take it. Kenny Espinosa on base for the third time tonight. By the way, Ortiz went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, only 2 earned runs, 3 total, 3 walks, 1 intentional, a couple of double play balls, 7 strikeouts, and he threw 97 pitches, 62 strikes.
That was not a happy manager getting his lefty.
No, sir. Zimmerman coming up. All the way tonight since scoring 3 in the first. And those were hits by Bernardina, Espinosa, Zimmerman, and Ramos, all in the first inning. 4 of the Nationals' total of only 5 hits all night long, actually 6. They got Michael Morrison there for a ground ball out last inning, got him a feel for some game action again. Here's hard-throwing Jeff Samardzija, who, like the rest of the Cubs bullpen, had some control issues here yesterday.
Yeah, fastball, slider, cutter split from Samardzija. Fastball average about 94 miles an hour. The former wide receiver from Notre Dame.
Long Beach on first, Virginia stepping in. Sacramento City College and UMKC in the booth with University of Illinois, our reporter tonight. It's amazing what these college educations will do for somebody.
It's funny.
Zimmerman 2 for 3. Of course, I am the only one who can claim to be a fighting kangaroo.
That was your mascot?
Oh, yeah. Don't mess with him, man. Lance Nix. Ryan Zimmerman has swung the bat well tonight. 2 hard singles, 1 to right, 1 to left. And he takes that one on the inner half. Looked like a backup breaking ball that was just sticking around that inside corner. And Ryan has to swing close enough on 0-2, and he pops it up to Blake DeWitt. Second out here in the 7th. Lance Nix with an RBI will step in. Wherever you go this year, you can take the Nats with you. We call it MLB.TV. Every game live, on demand, on your computer or your favorite device. To get more information and to order, go to Nationals.com, MLB.TV. Baseball everywhere. Lance Nix is 0 for 3 with an RBI ground ball. Big, strong right-handed pitcher, big, strong left-handed hitter. And that'll be a little fly ball to left that'll drop in. The way the Nats have hit line drives tonight, they'll take that one. And Washington's in business here, and it'll be Jason Worth again for the third time in 4 at-bats, coming up with at least 2 men on base.
And this is a big at-bat. This game has an uneasy feeling to it. The Nats with 3 runs in the first inning, just sitting on the lead. They've swung the bat all night long. Not a lot to show for it, a lot of lineouts, but a lot of times in baseball, when you sit on that lead, it comes back to haunt you. So they're trying to add on. They want to add on, and I think they need to add on.
I have nothing to add to that. Worth looks at a breaking ball for a strike. Jason has struck out twice and hit into a 6-4-3 double play.
You know, I think it has that uneasy feeling to it is because the Nationals have been on the other end of that so many times to where they're just hanging around in a baseball game in 7th, 8th inning. They turn it on. They're on the other side tonight and maybe not used to having the lead.
They've already stranded 6 base runners. They've lost 2 others on double plays, and they have 2 aboard here in the 7th.
And he likes hitting off Jeff Samardzija.
Samardzija got him on that RBI grounder yesterday. And here's Jason Worth taking a pitch, and now they got him 2 strikes. And the Cubs have done nothing but flip him breaking balls away when they get 2 strikes on him. Got a piece of it to stay alive. Hot hitter Rick Ankiel on deck. 2 more times on base tonight with a walk and a hit.
He's asking if that last pitch he swung at is a strike. A lot of times the hitter, you'll look back to the home plate umpire and say, was that a good pitch? Is that a strike? And you're not doing that because you don't know. You just want to know what he's going to call and how far out he's going to go with the strike zone.
I'll tell you who's playing shallow right now is the center fielder Marlon Byrd against Jason Worth, who moves back. There's about 100 feet of room behind Marlon Byrd to the center field wall.
Well, a fast runner on second base, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As a center fielder, you have to cheat up and you have to be able to keep the score right where it's at.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Worth takes a close one and the count's full.
And that's why you asked the umpire the pitch before. Was the slider down? Was that a strike that I fouled off? You're doing your homework. And Jason Worth knows the strike zone, but he wants to know what Mike Everett is thinking.
Runners will be moving on a payoff pitch with 2 outs.
Coming in.
And Worth gets it up the middle on a slow bouncer to Barney. Jason Worth has stranded 7 base runners tonight. Into the 8th inning, 3-2. 8th. Clippard will be looking for 3 more outs. Tom Gorzolani and Randy Wells tomorrow night. And then Game 4 Thursday, Livan Hernandez and Matt Garza. Homestand and the mythical first half of the season will be wrapped up when the Rockies come in for 3. Make a note, we're going to play a night game on Saturday this weekend and a day game 1:35 on Sunday. First pitch. Tyler Clippard against Blake DeWitt, Aramis Ramirez, and Giovanni Soto in the top of the 8th inning. 92, strike 1. DeWitt a fly ball to center last 2 innings ago after coming in to replace Jeff Baker. Counts even, 1-1. Phillies winning again. 8-2 at Florida, 7th inning. Braves beating the Rockies at home, 5-3, 7th inning. Mets are at Dodger Stadium later tonight. In the East, the Nats remain a half game behind the Mets and 11 back of the Phils. A 2-1 changeup in there.
A 2-1 changeup on the inner half of the plate. And I don't know why more guys don't do this. Changeups you usually see away, and they'll lock you up inside every single time. It's hard to pull the trigger on a changeup on the inner half.
And a 2-2. Something like a broken bat. That's going to be a hit if it stays fair, and it will not. Ryan swats it away to make it foul officially.
And he swats that away because you never know. That ball can hit a rock, it can hit a divot, it can hit the grass on the other side and come back. So for you kids at home, as soon as that ball is fully foul, either grab it or swat it toward the dugout. It's a good job. It's a good job of letting it go, too. If you field that ball, you got no chance.
Clippard doesn't break too many bats because usually there's not much contact. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Key leadoff hitter with a big, powerful right-hander on deck. Clippard gets another strikeout with that high heater of his. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts.
It's time for our forward drive of the game. Last time up, Aramis Ramirez got all of this one. Check it out. Just a fastball right down the middle, some good extension. Some good backspin. 5 rows back. That's our forward drive of the game.
And that was Ross Detweiler watching his last pitch. He's still in line for the W if the bullpen can get it done here. Ramirez pops it up. This will be close. Nix to have a look, and no chance with the tarp in the way, and then about 2 rows back. .381 Nats, 2-6-1 Cubs. Only 2 innings have featured any scoring tonight. The Washington 1st and the Chicago 6th. Looked like Tyler Clippard threw his breaking ball there, which he will break out occasionally. That ball is sitting up a bit.
So stars on the back of Tyler Clippard's jersey in his hand. That's for the All-Star game.
Very cool. Change up. Did you see Clippard bouncing on the balls of his feet? He thought he might have had a strikeout there.
He wanted it. Just a little bit outside. I was wondering why Mike Quaddy had stars on the back of his hat too, but he's replacing
staff,
Jim Riggleman as an all-star coach.
And you get a special cap with the logo on the side. Man.
That's just pretty much I'm better than you. I have stars on my hat and my jersey, and you don't.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Clippard. And Ramirez was not biting on the 93 upstairs. Starlin Castro is going.
I'm better than you.
As a 20-year-old. I hope he realizes what he's accomplished. A lot of young players. Kind of gets by him a little bit. 3-2 with 1 out. Goes with a changeup. Ramirez hits it so well, it carries to Jason Worth. 2 outs. Pretty good at bat there by Haramis Ramirez. A lot of line drives have gone unrewarded in this game tonight.
Well, I was impressed with the take of the fastball before that. And usually guys are swinging through that from Tyler Clippard, using the changeup to set up the heater, get the swing through strike 3. But he took that pitch, and nice job of going with that last one.
Giovanni Soto, 2 for 3. First man Todd Coffey faced 2 innings ago. He doubled into the corner and left. And then Todd got the next 2. This will just be a fly ball to Bernardina. Tyler Clippard with another all-star caliber performance. 4 consecutive outs. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Ramos and Desmond. And if Michael Morse was in the lineup, he might be the leadoff guy in this situation. And a reminder, you can vote at MLB.com/vote. You can also text Michael. He's the 4th guy on the National League list as FP crosses everybody off of there. N4, text it to 89269. Vote often, vote Morse.
I like Mike. Let's go. We should have some pins made. We didn't have a whole lot of time. But vote for Michael Morse.
Well, back in the 50s, before you were around, and almost before I was around, I Like Ike was a big button in this town.
That's where I got it from.
Nice. Here's Rick Ankiel. He hits one really hard to center. Rick Ankiel is locked in, ladies and gentlemen. He's 2 for 3 tonight and 8 for his last 14. It's just a matter of time before some of these drives start reaching gaps and the seats, like the homer he hit over the weekend.
Hey, look at the fastball right down the middle, and he's on it. That's a short, compact swing, folks. It doesn't get much better than that. Head down, right to the baseball, and he is locked in.
No need to tell you knowledgeable Nats fans how big that run is at first base leading off the 8th. In 8 innings tonight, the Nationals have had their leadoff man on 6 times. Here's Ramos. A couple of those were walks, but a bunch of them have been line drives. That's a slider that hangs up and in. Drew Storen for the 9th. Nats have reached 9 base hits. Runner going, base hit. But with a play right in front of him, Ankiel will have to stop as Wilson Ramos launches one into left field, and he's 2 for 3 tonight.
I like the call by Davey Johnson, a straight hit and run. If you watch Rick Ankiel while he's stealing, he rolls his head. Wilson Ramos swinging all the way, and he got a backup curveball in the inner half and did a nice job. Now, Alfonso Soriano does not throw that well, but I think if Rick Ankiel went, he would have been out. But you see him looking all the way, that'll tell you, hit and run. Now it's up to Ian Desmond to bump these guys over, and I think that's what Davey Johnson might elect to do right here. Although Ian Desmond has had some good at-bats tonight. He lined out to third in the first inning, and lined out to right his last time up in the sixth.
And if that happens, it's pick your poison for the Cubs. With Stairs coming out on deck, but the Cubs are heating up a left-hander in a hurry, and that's James Russell. That's not the manager, that's the pitching coach, Mark Riggins. And there's Russell, the son of former Major League right-hander Jeff Russell.
And Bo Porter talking to Ian Desmond. He's telling him what he wants him to do right here. If they crash from third, have the option to pull it back. Look where the first baseman's playing. Look at the defense they're going to choose to run right here if you square around a bunt.
And if all goes well, Matt Stairs will be batting with runners at second and third and 1 out in a lefty-lefty matchup. Desmond squares, deadens it perfectly. Nobody covering third. Samardzija, one place to go. It is perfect on a 1-4. Ian Desmond having a good night at the plate tonight, even though he's hitless.
Yeah, that's a night you can hang your hat on, especially when you're struggling. A couple lineouts and a big bunt. You get guys over. Now it's up to Matt Stairs to pick them up. But that's a nice night at the dish for Ian Desmond.
And we would expect Stairs to be hitting against the left-hander Russell. So they will pull Jeff Samardzija, who pitches 1 inning, but gives up 3 hits. Matt Stairs against a lefty when we come back, unless Davey Johnson would switch off. And if you were watching the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report earlier tonight, you would have heard Tyler Clippard tell Tom Davis, Phil Wood, Mel Antonin, and Dave Johnson that he still would like to be a starter someday, but things are going so well, he's pretty happy in his role because he did a lot of starting in the minor leagues. But who's going to mess with all-star success? That's the kind of stuff you get on the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report. Tomorrow on Mass in HD, 5:30, 6:30.
Tyler, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No kidding. Oh, he'd like to start someday, but not now. Tough matchup for Matt Stairs. Stairs as a pinch hitter this year, 5 for 34 with an RBI. Overall batting $150. Infield in for the Cubs. Matt looking for something to elevate. Breaking ball outside corner, strike.
Yeah, Russell throws that slider about 40% of the time. So Matt Stairs talking to hitting coach Rick Eckstein, and I'm sure they were going over that. We see a lot of sliders.
Stairs pulling off that one quickly. 0-2. Well, we thought for a moment Davey Johnson might switch off to Bixler or Pudge here, but the Cubs could have walked one of those guys and then pitched to Bernardino, and then you burned 2 players in the same spot, and they didn't pitch to him. Stairs will strike out on a pitch up, and that's the second out here in the 8th. It'll be up to Roger Bernardino, who has been swinging the bat beautifully tonight.
He's been looking pretty good against left-handers too recently.
Bernardino hits it hard, speared by DeWitt, and he makes the play in time. Outstanding defensive play by the Cubs second baseman. How about some drama? How about another one-run game? And how about the top of the 9th coming up? The Nats closer, good hitters due up, and an outstanding play.
Time for the Home Depot doing more on defense, and we're going to make it Lance Nix tonight. All the plays he made at first base. This is a guy that's never played first base at the major league level until yesterday. And Felipe Alou used to tell me the only routine play is the play that's already made. So when you've never played first base before, you go over there and play it flawlessly, like Lance Nix has done tonight. You got to give him some props. That's a guy that's played center field, left field, and right field. Never at first base. He did a great job yesterday, did a great job today. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot, and he did such a good job. Alex Cora is on to play first base here in the 9th.
Well, guys like Alex Cora are on this team for very specific purposes. Defensive replacements, pinch hitters, pinch runners, sure-handed guys. This will be a really interesting 9th inning because it's Soriano, Bird, and Pena. And in a scoreless 9th yesterday, Drew Storen gave up a base hit to Bird, and he got Soriano to hit into a 4-6-3 double play ball.
And struggled with his slider.
What kind of stuff and what kind of snap on that breaking ball tonight? Just like with Todd Coffey, we'll find out in a hurry, huh?
Yep. Let's see what he does with the first pitch. Slider or fastball?
Soriano buckled on that slider, and that was nasty. Even though it was up, severe snap to it.
And we're seeing that a lot lately from Drew Storen. First pitch off speed to steal strike one.
And another one. Looked like Soriano was sitting on that, and he still couldn't hit it fair.
Well, that's not where he wanted that pitch. That was up in the strike zone, and Drew Storn, every time he comes into the game, has one command, and that's keep the ball down. That one was up.
Marlon Byrd on deck. Carlos Pena to follow. These three guys 0 for 9 tonight. Another slider. And you can see the actions of his catcher. Need that ball down.
You see the body language from Drew.
The way you want to throw a slider to Soriano with 2 strikes is start it off down the middle, let it snap about a foot outside.
Or bounce it when you're this far ahead in the count.
Alfonso Soriano, you do not have to throw him a strike to get him out once you're well ahead. It backs up, and Soriano just got a piece of it. Those either stick in the mitt or they don't.
Yeah, just got a piece of that slider from Drew Storn. It's hard to tell with the naked eye. Let's check out the replay. And that slider did back up on Drew Storn. And obviously there was 2 sounds. A lot of times you can't tell, but look at the redirection of the baseball. Ramos couldn't hang on, and Soriano has new life.
4 consecutive breaking balls. Another one, and it's hit well foul. Bullpen 4 scoreless innings yesterday to lead to a 5-4 win at home since the end of May. Very stingy on this homestand. The ERA and the opponent's average. Yesterday, Matthews, Clippard, Storin, Rodriguez. Tonight, Coffey, Burnett, Clippard, and Storin.
Going backdoor sinker right here, throwing the fastball.
Way outside, 2-2.
Fastball in. They're in between. Wilson Ramos had slider down, and did you see he switched to fastball at the last second? Drew Storn had a negative thought in his head, was not sure of the pitch, and stepped off. Regroup, refocus, go through your routine again.
Jams him. A little pop-up. Alex Cora. Great pitch. 1 out.
And that might give Drew Storn a little more confidence in his fastball, because that was a perfect pitch in a perfect spot with a little hair on it to boot. I mean, he went fastball into a dangerous hitter. A lot of times you won't see that from a closer until he gets to a 2-strike count. But look at the location and look at the movement on that fastball. That just beat him.
Almost took the trademark off Soriano's bat.
So he used a bunch of sliders to set up the fastball with 2 strikes.
Here's Marlon Byrd. Byrd, couple of hits and a walk, RBI yesterday. Tonight, 2 ground balls, a strikeout. That fastball stays outside, 3-0. Simple target right down the middle.
And a good target from Wilson Ramos. Did you see him pat his glove on the ground? He's trying to help his closer out right now and trying to get him to lower his sights. And that was a good low target from a young catcher to a young closer.
And another one is right on the corner, 3-2.
The little things, the game within the game. You have a closer struggling with command, all of a sudden he's up with his stuff. And you have a young catcher acting like he's been in the league for 10 years. That's a great target on 2 strikes in a row from Wilson Ramos, and good job Drew Storn executing.
3-2 pitch. On a pitch up, Bird fouls it straight back. Out in left field, Johnny Holliday and Ray Knight are sweating out another one-run game. The Nats this year at home in one-run games, 10-7, 16-15 overall. 3-2 Washington, top of the 9th. Jams him. Zimmerman guarding the line, can't get it to his left. And the Cubs have the tying run aboard with 1 out. And dangerous Carlos Pena, the left-hander, coming up.
This is a no-stride, 2-strike approach. A good pitch from Drew Storn. Bird was just all over it. The slogan and the motto for the Nats this year has been expected. It should be one-run games expected. Drama expected. Nothing has come easy all season long.
Carlos Pena 0 for 3 tonight. He's hit 17 home runs. Gets under that one, out of play, right side. A mammoth foul ball. Look out.
The last 3 outs of the game are always the hardest to get, and especially when you're going through the heart of the opposition's order. You got guys out there that are thinking one thing. They're trying to give their team the lead with one swing of the bat. And as a closer, you have to realize that and try to prey on their aggressiveness.
And with Ramos shifting around, Pena requested time from Mike Everett. Ground ball, right side. Espinosa, Desmond. And the ball is off the glove of Alex Cora. Taylor made double play, ball turned quickly, but Alex just dropped it.
Well, let's check it out on the replay. Drew Storn got the ground ball he wanted. The big hop to Danny Espinosa. Good feed to Ian Desmond. And Alex Cora just flat missed that. There's no other way to put it.
Wow. Nothing wrong with the double play until the very end.
He just took his eye off the baseball. Look where he's looking. He's looking out at Ian Desmond and not up to his glove. And that was the difference. And if you wanted more drama, you got it.
Cubs still have a chance with Darwin Barney, who has hit 1 home run this year. Target away. And Storn gets a chopper. This is trouble. Espinosa gets rid of it. Game over.
What a play. You got a fast runner, it's do or die. You decide to go with the barehand, and you don't only barehand the baseball, you throw it right on the money. And just the way the Nationals drew it up. Another 1-run win.
And Ross Detweiler will be the winning pitcher in his return to the major leagues as the Nationals hang on here in the 9th. And they've won the first 2 games of the series against the Cubs. Well done, Danny. Nats above 500.